Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video. I'm Ashima. Before we get into this video, I have something very important to talk about. 80% of you watching this video have not subscribed to the channel yet. I mean, why? It just takes like less than 2 seconds. It's free and it gives me so much more motivation to produce more useful videos for all of you. So I think you should just hit that subscribe button and please subscribe. So let's start. You should watch the video till the end because we will be seeing live prices of grocery items like tomatoes, onions, potatoes from a Korean e-commerce website from where I order from. Like in India, we order from Big Basket or Amazon or Flipkart. In Korea, we have different e-commerce websites. I'll be showing you one example. And second, I'll be also showing you the overall minimum budget you need to be in Korea in an Excel sheet which you can edit and make your budget before you come here. So watch till the end. Okay, so let's start with the rent. Rent in general in South Korea is expensive. It depends on two parameters. One is location. So if you're staying in city center like in Gangnam, it's going to be expensive. And the second parameter is the closeness to subway. So if you know, Seoul has a very elaborate and very nice network of subways. So the closer you stay to a subway station, the more expensive it is. It's similar to staying near to the metro station in Delhi or in Bangalore or I think anywhere in the world. So those are two parameters. So if you're ready to walk a little bit to the subway station or walk a little bit to the bus stop, then your rent will be cheaper. And the farther away you stay from the city center, like the farther you stay from Gangnam or you stay like little outskirts of Seoul or maybe 1 hour away from Seoul, then it will be cheaper. So in general, again, I'm really going to be looking at my notebook time and again because I have everything written down and I want to provide correct numbers. So if you stay near city center, the rent of a studio apartment is like one block of room, like a long room, like a long drawing room in our India. And there'll be a kitchenette, there'll be like one room, bathroom, and it comes with the washing machine, kitchen stuff, sometimes dishwasher, refrigerator, it comes with everything. That will cost you about 800,000 to 1 million Korean won. Again, the numbers in INR and in dollars will be on the screen, so you can see it, you can refer to it. And if you stay a little outside of city center, it will be somewhere around 500,000 to 700,000 Korean won. Now, Goshiwon, like if you're a student, I know this is expensive, but if you're staying in Goshiwon, I think it's going to be cheap. And I've also talked about in my previous video that the rent starts about, the minimum has to be about 250,000 Korean won. Okay, so let's first talk about the 3 systems of renting here in Korea, of which I know. I'm sure there are other systems also, but these 3 are something which I'm aware of and most of the foreigners are aware of. Okay, so first system is called the Joseon. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Joseon system where you do not provide the rent. You just give a very huge amount of deposit to the landlord and that just waives off your rent. But that deposit is really humongous. If you have like that kind of money, you may not be working or you know what I mean. So that's called Joseon. So what usually Koreans do is that they loan a very big amount from a Korean bank and they pay that amount to their landlord, which waives off their rent, but they definitely have to pay the interest rate to the bank, which is very less, which is about 3%. Effectively, they're paying very little for their house. Like one of my colleagues, she moved into a very small studio apartment and she took a very, very heavy loan, which is, I don't even have numbers like how much that loan is, but it's quite heavy. And now she's not paying rent, but she's giving like little bit amount of her money of her salary to the interest rate. So that's how it works. Usually foreigners don't do that. The next system is mix, where you pay part rent and part deposit. So rent, I have told you just like 2 seconds back how much is the rent, and deposit varies between 5 million Korean won to 45 million Korean won. Again, this is quite high, but it's just like the higher your deposit, the lower is your rent. Similar thing is what happens in Bangalore as well. Because I've stayed there, I put my deposit, the higher the deposit I gave to my landlord, the lower was my rent. The only thing is you have to have some key money, you have to have some savings before you come here. So that's that. And for students, I have seen some YouTubers that when they're staying like in the basement area, in some like a place which is quite far away from Gangnam or quite far away from the city center, as I mentioned previously, where you don't have like much deposit or you have like very little deposit. For that, you should know Korean to negotiate with the landlord as well. Or if you don't know Korean, maybe you should have a good friend here or a good sort of network who can, you know, get you that deal and so on and so forth. So what I would suggest is just come here, like stay in Goshiwon, go to your college for 2 months, make some friends and then shift into apartment. And do have some savings or do have like a considerable amount in your bank so that you can rent an apartment here if you want. For expats and people who are coming to work here, the general practice is that your accommodation is supported by your company, especially the ski deposit. Even for postdoctoral researchers, like some researchers whom I've met here, their universities provide the accommodation. And for EPIC teachers, all of you know that the small studio apartment is provided by the school itself. So that's about rent. Okay, so the next bucket of expenses are utility bills, which has four things: electricity, gas, water, and maintenance facilities. So this maintenance facilities is something which you pay when you're staying in a high-rise apartment or maybe in a smaller apartment. This is something like which you pay for the apartment employees to clean the corridors, clean the windows, and so on and so forth. This roughly comes out between 150,000 Korean won to 500K Korean won, 500,000 Korean won. Okay, so the next bucket is your internet and Wi-Fi. So this is relatively cheaper here. Your Wi-Fi, if you take the standard pack of 100 Mbps unlimited, it will cost you about 30,000 to 35,000 Korean won. Like my connection is that of KT, and it costs me about 35,000 Korean won. For phone, again, if you take the limited data pack, which is like about 1 GB or 2 GB, it will cost you about 35,000 Korean won. You should take the limited one because you have Wi-Fi almost in every store, even in subways, so there's no point of taking like an unlimited data pack. But if you wish to take an unlimited data pack, then it will cost you about double, like about 70,000 Korean won roughly. I don't think there's any need to do that. Then transportation, it's cheap, and Seoul is a very, very walkable city. So as I said previously, if you're okay to walk a little bit so that you can stay farther away from the subway, the cheaper will be your rent. One way transportation cost about average, on an average, is just 1300 Korean won. And for a month, I would say that if you take like 2 trips in a day, it will be roughly about 55,000 to 60,000 Korean won. If you want to take taxi, sometimes it's quite rainy and you're getting late or so on and so forth. If you want to take a taxi, the minimum fare is 3,800 Korean won. I think it is expensive, but people have told me that it is really cheap as compared to other parts of the world. So yeah, it's 3,800. Like the meter starts with 3,800, and then for every additional kilometer, you pay 800 Korean won more. So I think it's okay, but when you have subway, when you have nice buses, I don't think you need to take taxi. Then coffee. At first, when you will go to Korea, you will be amazed by the amount of coffee Koreans have. They have it like after every lunch meal and every day. And roughly a good cup of coffee will cost you about 4,000 to 5,000 Korean won. Now here's where you can save a lot of money. There's absolutely no need to have coffee every day. And then the bigger part, again a big chunk, is that of grocery. So let's say your grocery per person for a month will be about 100,000 Korean won to 150,000 Korean won. If I give you a split, let's say if you buy eggs, 12 eggs, this is just about 3,000 Korean won. Milk is 2,500 Korean won. Bread is 2,500 Korean won. We'll see it live on the website. Let me show you my screen.
Hi guys, so this is Coupang.com. As I mentioned, this is one of the e-commerce websites in Korea, of which I'm most familiar with. So if you want to see the grocery prices, you'll go by category. First, you have to translate this from Korean to English. Like this will be automatically available in your browser. You go to category, you go to food. For example, we want to see potato. So you click here. And then we're going to see some price. So for example, potato here is of 1 kg is about 2,000 won. So as you can see, they're giving a discount of 24%. It is actually about 3,000 or 2,700 Korean won. So this is roughly about 120, 130 Indian rupees. So similarly, you can see for, let's say, onion. So onion, you get usually 3 kg, which is about 6,000 Korean won. And which will be, let me tell you how much rupees. It will be about 380, 400 rupees for 3 kgs. So generally prices on Coupang are cheaper. Then you can find anything here. For example, if we go to food again, we want to see oil. So we'll go to powder seasoning oil and we go to cooking oil. because if you're planning to save money, you will have to cook at home, for which you need oil. So for example, this oil for 1.8 liter, which is almost about 2 liter, you have 4,000 Korean won, which will be roughly about 250 Indian rupees. And you can see, like, you can take olive oil, which we are more familiar with. I don't know what is this oil. Similarly, you can see all the prices here. Just explore all the categories, make your budget, and that's how you see this.
Now, eating out. This is somewhere you can save a lot of money. Koreans usually eat out. They love eating out. They love to have lunches together in their teams. One meal of Korean won, one meal of a good Korean lunch, like which will like fill you up really nicely, is about 8,000 Korean won. So Korean food definitely in Korea is cheaper. If you lean more towards Western food, then it will be definitely expensive. Like for example, pizza is about 20,000 Korean won. So you can just like save that money. And there's absolutely no need to have lunch out daily. Like spending 8,000 daily is, I think, is a bit too much. What you can also do is you can buy gimbap, which is about 3,000 Korean won and fills you perfectly fine and is delicious and healthy. And otherwise you can just cook at home. Let's now check out the summary of all the things I have mentioned. It will be there in a plain nice Excel sheet, which you can download and edit and make a budget for yourself. The link to that Excel sheet is in the description box. So let's start.
Let me quickly explain how this sheet works. So I have put the minimum cost, which most of you asked. Average is something which will be more than minimum but less than maximum, obviously. So let's look at minimum, how I have put. Rent is 300,000 Korean won. All of these numbers are in Korean won. Gas, electricity, minimum you will have to pay this much, is according to my research and my experience. Transportation, for example, for subway is 1,300 or 1,250 Korean won, but you get a monthly pass for 55,000. Similarly, eating out per meal minimum can be 6,000, but let's say if you take 4 meals outside on a minimum, it will be 24,000. So you can see the formula here. And then monthly average, let's say you take 8 meals. So because you asked for minimum, that's why I tried to put this cost as low as possible. For example, in an expensive restaurant, when you're trying to save money, you might not go there. So I put it as 0. Miscellaneous also, I put it as 0. For grocery, I put like very basic items, which you can see here, like eggs, bread, milk, 1 liter, how much does it cost? And then how much is monthly? Maybe you need 3 liters of milk or maybe more. But minimum is this much amount in Korean won, which translates to 45,000 Indian rupees. Now, if 2 people are staying in this small apartment, this will become half. And then, of course, you have part-time jobs. So I know it's expensive, but this is the minimum which you will get in Korea. I hope this helps. Again, if you want to change these numbers, you can download this file from here in terms of Microsoft Excel, and you can put in your own numbers, and this number will change automatically because it is formulated. I have used the exchange rates here, so you don't have to do anything. You just have to change a number here. For example, if I take my coffee as 5, then this changes automatically. So you can do that. And I hope it helps.
Okay, I hope this video was useful. You know the drill. If you have any questions, just comment down, and or you can reach me on Instagram, which most of you have done, so I'm happy. I really try hard to reply to all of you, and I will like keep replying you. So you can just reach me on Instagram or comment down. One thing I want you to comment is what is the next video you would like to be about. I know you guys are not interested in vlogs, so maybe some useful information. I'm trying to collect more information about studying in Korea. So I'm taking a little bit of time to do all my research and then give you the right perspective. What do I think about studying in Korea? Which course is the best? Which university is the best? So whatever you want, whatever information you want, whatever the topic of the next video should be, just comment down and let me know. And yeah, that's it. Follow me on Instagram if you want, and please subscribe. See ya. See you in another video. Bye.